Hello everyone, welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Max and I make food review videos. Today I'm in Blackfriars for a new video, for a new Too Good To Go video. This week I'm getting a bag from a place I've never tried on Too Good To Go, but I'm sure plenty of you are familiar with. I'm talking about Gail's. To quickly go over the usual stuff, Too Good To Go is a social impact app allowing local businesses to sell unsold surplus food at a heavily discounted price to prevent it from being wasted. Now back to Gail's. It's one of Britain's most famous and most expensive bakeries, and they first opened in London in 2005, and currently they have over 170 branches all over the UK. They came under scrutiny a few years ago after being sold to an American private equity group, and then again a couple of years ago they were criticized for selling old plain croissant, then turned into almond croissant at a higher price. But that's common practice in bakeries, so that controversy was a bit of a silly one. Besides that, they are famous for their generally high prices, even though the quality of the products is going down. However, the branch here in Blackfriars has an amazing 4.7 rating out of 5 on the Too Good To Go app. So I'm quite curious to see what we are getting. But enough talking, it's time to eat. So without further ado, Gail's, here we come! Okay, I secured the bag. It's quite heavy, but I'll see you at home in a little bit to find out what I've got. Hello again, back at home. Here's the bag. It's quite a big bag, as I mentioned earlier. Let's start with the first item. We've got apple and blackcurrant overnight oats with almond butter, blackcurrant, chia compote. It's plant-based. So first item. Okay, I've collected these 1 hour and a half ago. So maybe they should have gone into the fridge, but I guess it's still fine. Second, we've got a cookie. I think it's with oats and almonds, and I'm not sure, but I think there are also raisins. Okay, big bag. We've got two things inside this bag. This is a scone. This is a savory scone. Smells like cheesy, and I think it's rosemary. Gonna have a bite later. And then we've got a peno raisins. 4 items so far. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, we've got, oh, this looks a bit like a pain au chocolat with almonds on top, but it could also be a croissant with almonds. But yeah, I'm gonna try it later and we'll see. Here we've got brown butter financier. I haven't tried the brown butter ones, but I've tried their pistachio ones and they are divine. So hopefully they're as good as the pistachio one. Last item. It's a big one. We've got a huge loaf of bread. This smells very nice. I'm not quite sure what's inside. Some kind of seeds, I think. I'm gonna cut a little bits later and we'll see what's inside. Nothing else in the bag. See, it's empty. We got 7 items. Considering how expensive Gail's is, I'm pretty sure there's more than the promised value, and I actually forgot to mention I paid this bag £4.99 with a promised value of 15p. The collection time was between 4:45 p.m. and 5 p.m. Of course it's a Sunday, so I guess the collection time is a bit later on during the week. I don't go to Gail's very much, so I'm not quite sure about the prices of the items I've got, but I'll see if I can find them in the meantime, and I'll let you know before the end of the video. I'm going to plate a couple of things up so I can try a few of the things I found in the bag and let you know what I think, if I like them. Back again, I plated a couple of things. Spoiler alert, I found the prices, so if you want to know how much these cost, stay until the end. Okay, I'm going to try a little bit of everything. Let me start from the seeded sourdough. The bread was very enjoyable, very crunchy on the outside and very soft in the inside, even though the seeds in the inside give a little bit of texture. There are bits of nuts inside as well. It's very nice, very flavorful. Very good. Thumbs up for the bread. Let's move on to the scone, the savory scone I found on their menu. This is a limited edition. This is a cheddar and chives scone. So let's have a bite. Oh wow, that was amazing. Very similar to the sourdough bread. Very crunchy outside and very soft inside. Very cheesy, very flavorful. Probably the best scone I've ever had in my life. And it's not even a joke or an understatement. Thankfully I cut a little slice, because if I had the whole thing in front of my eyes, I would have finished it all, no doubt. I'm not going to score, single items, but that was probably a 10. No joke. Very cheesy, very flavorful. The cheddar and the chives go very well together. It's an explosion of flavor. Let's move on to the sweet treats. We've got the cookie. This is an oats, pecan and cranberry, according to their menu. So let's have a bite. It's alright, it's not the best cookie I've ever had. It's very sweet, as you can imagine. Pecan are not very sweet, so I was expecting a little bit of contrast between sweetness and bitterness. However, the sweetness is dominant here, and unfortunately it's not something I would be able to finish. For a couple of bites is fine, but not my cup of tea. Let's try the brown butter financier. As I mentioned earlier, I've tried the pistachio financier before, and I was expecting the brown butter one to be, as good, but I struggled to understand the flavor. It's just supposed to be butter. I don't know, because as soon as I put it in my mouth, it tasted quite herbal, and then it becomes buttery, but the first impact is not very pleasant. It's a bit heavy. Again, I'm not sure I will be able to finish one of these, even though they're quite tiny. It's not bad, it's just a bit weird compared to the other things I've tried so far today. Let's try the overnight oats. Let's hope they taste alright. It's totally my fault, because I've left them outside the fridge because I didn't know they were in the bag. They were sitting at the bottom of the bag, so hopefully they're still alright. So let's try. The overnight oats were still alright, despite having left them outside of the fridge for 1-2 hours. I really like the almond butter and the almond bits on top. They were giving a nice texture. Yeah, this was enjoyable, despite maybe having a bit too many ingredients, but yeah, it was alright. I'm going to skip the panna raisins. It didn't look the best, to be honest, but I'm quite excited about the almond and chocolate croissant, which is basically a pain au chocolat with almond cream in the middle and almond bits on top. This is quite exciting. I've never had this before, so I can't wait to try it. Let's have a bite. Let me tell you, unbelievable. It probably shares top spot in my leaderboard with the cheddar and chives scone. Let's talk a little bit about prices. I'm gonna apologize, I'm gonna read them out because I found the prices while I was recording the video. So we have the seeded sourdough bread for £5, then the almond and chocolate croissant for £4.20, the brown butter financiers for £6.20, the pano raisins for £3.20, the cheddar and chive scones scone at £3.40, the pecan, oats and cranberry cookie at £3.30, and the overnight oats at £4.50, for a total amount of £29.80, almost £30 worth of stuff. Unbelievable value. Yes, of course, Gail's prices are quite high, but nonetheless, we got £30 worth of stuff in a bag that was supposed to be worth £15, so we got double of the promised value. It's unbelievable, unbelievable value. I cannot give this bag less than 8.5 out of 10. Do let me know in the comments what you think about the bag. Was it good value? Do you agree with my score? And what was your favorite thing about this bag? Do let me know. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. I'm still trying to grow, and don't forget, if you want a chance of winning a keyring with the I Wish I Reviewed Pizza for a Living logo, please subscribe. But for now, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.